This an interview, y'all.
All right, boom. So we out here. So I'm part of the Boys and Girls Club, right?
Yeah, the Caring
RW
People
Brown,
Alliance.
North Philly location. You from what
I'm
location?
from the West Philly
From the
location.
West location. We got some more counselors over here.
Yeah.
So, like I was just telling the good brother Kevin here, you know, my background is in health and wellness, fitness, different things like that, and our community. So I like to have conversations based on different things we could do for our mental health, physical health, you know what I mean, spiritual, even financial health. So on our way over here, you mentioned that some of the things that you do is, you know, writing, not meditating, journaling, you know what I mean, documenting your life,
But
stuff
we
like
could,
that.
you know, we could just put it all into one category because
Right,
it's like whatever it is for self improvement. That's what I'm going to do.
right.
So I look at it as I'm going to write, I'm going to journal, and I'm going to like look at my life in the morning and at the night. And it's not like it's not something that it wasn't easy. It's not something that just came to me like I started in 2020.
Okay,
So it wasn't something that was just like, oh, my whole life. Like in
right.
2020, when it was a lot of time on my hands, I guess, with all the
Pandemic,
coronavirus and
everybody shut down,
pandemic.
right.
So it was like I got a lot of time to have like self reflections and to actually see where I was at. Life slowed down for me. Life used to move at 100 miles per second
Got
for
you.
me, to the point where it was like I told you, I got tattooed on my face at a very young age. I'm doing like crazy things, like
That's I
so.
want to ask you two things. Just piggybacking off of what you
Yeah,
just said. A few moments ago, you mentioned was it Earl Nightingale that you
yeah,
said?
Earl
So that lets
Nightingale.
me know that like you listen to certain things,
Yeah.
right? So is that where you got the idea to start the journey of your life, or like where'd you get that
So,
idea from?
so I realized what I was doing in the community was mimicking my heroes in the community.
Okay.
So I needed a new hero type time, like, cause I never had, like I had a stepdad and he was a great guy, you know what I mean? But, he was still one of the type guys that was in the community. Like he was like one of them. Like he was a heavy bull. Like he wasn't like one of those type guys you could be like, oh, business or but he was business,
No,
but it
no,
was a
no,
different type of
meaning
business.
like not to make like a comparison. You mean like contributing to the
Yeah,
community, or he was like
yeah, you know what I mean?
big meats in the
Yeah,
community?
you feel me?
Gotcha.
It's
Okay. So,
different. So it was
gotcha.
like
Right.
he
Right.
was
Right.
more on some, getting money,
Right.
but he wasn't like that I could see. Cause
Right.
I'm a kid. I'm
Right.
not like
Right. You don't have full
I don't know
context.
if he invested in the community, got a basketball. He could have been a coach,
Right.
but I never was that too close to him. I never was that like I was more like you're not my dad.
Got you.
Like I was like that as a kid. So it
Right.
was like I always felt like I ain't have a dad
Right.
growing up.
Right.
Even though I did have my stepdad,
Okay.
and I could be honest about that. Like I had a stepdad, and he was thorough. He
Okay.
wasn't like no, oh yeah, sucker. Like if I needed something, I could still call him, but I was more so not oriented toward that. And he could tell y'all his own mouth. I never called him for nothing
I
in
got
our
you. I got
life.
you.
Like he never had me call him ever and be like, yeah, let me hold some money. I never did that. And he
Right.
got money. He not no busted down nigga like broke.
Right.
Like, but I never needed him. I always looked at life like, all right, boom, I need to figure out how to become this person that I hear my mom talking about, I hear my aunts talking about, because I'm more around them. Because they wasn't together, even though he my stepdad, he was all my brothers
He
and
raised you.
sisters' dad.
Okay. Okay. I got
He
you. I got
wasn't
you.
my dad. He
Right.
wasn't with my mom. They was together periodic. You know how it go.
But
But he was like somebody that was in my life as a male figure. My cousin was somebody in my life. These
right.
is male figures that I had to look to, and they was good guys that was doing their thing.
So let me ask you this. So like because I think that's important in any community, but especially our
Yeah.
community, right? Having a male figure in your life that shows you what it means like to be a
It
man.
give you a
Maturity, you know what I mean, different things like that.
yeah.
So if being as though you looked up to your stepdad in some way, right? Or you had certain male
It gave
figures in
me a
your life.
syllabus.
So
It
what are
gave
some
me
of those
something
characteristics you think like what it means to like be a
to
man, a
provide.
responsible man? Yeah.
So providing was the first thing I was worried about as a man, and then it was just how to treat women,
Hmm.
and then how to act like as a man. Like, all right, so as a man, I felt like, all right, boom, you gotta provide.
Hmm.
So that was like my main priority. So that's what got me into selling drugs and doing
Okay.
everything. Like I got to
Right.
the point where I would do anything, like almost anything.
Right.
So, but then it got to the point of morals, and then like, all right, what you going? How would you want your family to view you?
Right.
And then it's like, but I'm only getting this as I go because I'm getting certain things. Like I'm getting in trouble for certain things. I get caught up with the laws or not. And one thing I'm blessed to say, I never got I just got out
Something
of
that
a
could, like,
program.
change your whole
Yeah, I
trajectory,
just got
right?
out of a program for a gun for having illegal guns, but I never got convicted of a crime.
Gotcha.
Every time I ever had a run-in with a law, I always like God blessed me with to get the seed of
Minimum or right? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
because
right.
I needed to see something and I didn't need to go through everything to see it.
Right.
Because I got this on my hand, learn it for everybody.
Right.
Life.
Right. I like
Life is real, so you learn it for everybody when you going through life.
Right.
And I got like all younger siblings. I'm even the oldest cousin. Like
Okay.
out of all my
Gotcha.
cousins, I'm the first one born. My mom had me when she was young, so it's
Gotcha.
like I'm the oldest. And it's
So
like
I can be sort of I like to use analogies and metaphors and stuff like that. So like what you just said, you know, one of the first characteristics of what it means to be a man is to provide. Right now, Tony Robbins, you know, somebody that you
yeah,
know that's
that's
circle,
my
right.
buddy.
He
Yeah.
mentioned years ago he was like, you know, a lot of things that people do, even if it's like a bad vice, so to speak, it's not for a bad reason. So,
Right.
for example, you know, if somebody does like crack cocaine, yes,
Right.
like that's a bad vehicle, but a lot of times they're doing that to escape,
For
like,
something,
you
yeah.
know, to feel present, to escape some kind of pain, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's momentarily. In exercise, for example,
Yeah.
that's a vehicle, right?
That's a fact.
but it
It's
achieves
just
the same
about
thing.
which
It's the
vehicle are you introduced to
Right.
first that make you feel good first.
Exactly. So I like how
Yeah.
your first vehicle, you understood that you have to provide for your family.
Yeah.
So the first vehicle you chose wasn't the greatest vehicle, but the
Yeah.
outcome was the same.
It was just to make
But
sure.
eventually you had the realization that like, okay, I need to still provide, but
Yeah.
like that
It gotta
vehicle-
be something that somebody could smile about and
Right.
be proud of. I can't have my grandmom embarrassed, and
Right.
she heavy in the church and
Right.
she in the community, and you know,
Right.
like you like all right. So I'm not like a kid that grew up. I wasn't a kid that grew up with a bad family,
Right,
and
right.
I knew
Meaning
kids.
y'all had standards
Yeah,
and stuff
like
like that,
I
right.
knew my homies that grew up. They lost their mom, so they didn't
Right.
even have a standard.
Got you,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So it's like it's not like I didn't have a standard. So
Right.
I commend my family and my mom, my grandmom, and these type of people that gave me a standard to live to and like morals. Because at first, you know, when you young, and that's why I'm so for the kids, because like I understand when a kid got that space and they got those people in their life that care, but they choose to go the opposite way because of the influence of the community or
Right.
the influence of what they think is right.
What
like
it means to be a
music,
man, right.
The
What it
things
means to be
the
a-
things
right.
that you see, like you see in a music video, you see all these honeys in the music video. He got like $1 million
Right.
in the music video. You're
Right.
like, bro, what do I gotta do to do that?
To get
Then you
that, right.
see the things that correlate. He got on the same clothes like a guy that's trapping on the
Absolutely,
block, or he got
1000%.
on the same, you know, he doing the same similar thing. They smoking the same, like they doing the
Right,
same thing.
right.
You could damn near look in the.
But
in
it's a carbon copy, man.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like when and again, to each his or her own. You know, people got the right to feel how they want to feel
But
about
it's
anything.
which one that catch you first and which one that make you feel good first.
Right.
Because one could be sent to a child as a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
You could be told to read as a punishment, and this could hurt you
Mm-hmm.
in the long run. But if you told to read as, yo, this gonna help you.
Right.
Like what I try to do with the youngest, I don't tell them to read and like, yo, you reading because, yo, you just did this, so read.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No, I'm telling you read because, yo, this something that you interested
Right,
in,
there's an
bro.
upside
Remember you
to
was just
that.
telling me you like this?
Right, there's an
like I
upside.
talk to him, so it's like you tell me, bro, I'm interested in selling shirts. I'm interested in, I'm in college for this, or I want to go to do this. Now I could tell you, bro, look, this book is based on that, or
Right.
or look at this audio book, or look at this guy. Have a mentor that
Right.
you never met in your life, but you could look on YouTube University and you could
There
see
you
what
go.
these
That's
people.
what I want to ask you,
You know
about
what I
next.
mean?
Yep. Well, I think that's important too. Meaning like, you know, like going like the wrap up my last statement,
Uh-huh.
right? You know, you could feel. You have the right to whatever your opinion is, right? But I feel like, and I know for a fact, music, media,
Yes.
and things like that really
Yes.
influences everyone.
It's very big.
But just speaking about our community,
Yeah.
like it really influences a lot
Yeah,
of the
that's
kids.
the kings and the prophets.
Right. Also, it affects humans in general, but especially if there's not a strong male figure in the
That
house to
cohorts
sort of
it.
show
Yeah,
you
it lets you know.
what it means to be a man, right? But even if that is a situation where you don't have, necessarily like a man in your life, YouTube University is a great resource. Okay, to find resources, like you said, you just mentioned Earl Nightingale. We talked
Right.
about Jim
And
Rohn,
that's
Tony
where
Robbins,
that
right?
was a new wake up in my life because, like I said, I didn't have those people that was doing it in a light where I could look at my grandma and tell, hey grandma, I'm doing this,
XYZ,
where
right.
she could smile and be like, oh, I'm proud of you for doing that. Because
Right.
she had to hear later. I never came to my grandma and told her, oh yeah, I'm selling drugs. She had to hear, yo, Kev got 3 crack houses that he in control, like certain crazy stuff.
Right.
And then it'd be like,
And this is a true story?
yeah,
Got
these
you,
is
got you,
facts.
got you.
You
Yeah,
could
right.
verify this
Right,
stuff.
right,
This
right.
is
I got
facts.
you. Right.
But it's just like you hear you don't want, I don't want my grandmom to hear crazy shit like that. I want her to have the benefits of it though. Like I wanted to be able to, on her birthday, oh Leah, I could get her this. Or she asked, oh my car just messed up. Oh mama, I just paid for that. And she could tell you like it been times she didn't know where the money would come from, but it'd just be like it's there.
Right.
And then she'd question me, Kevin, I'm not taking that money. You like
Right,
like
because she
it's
knows where the
disrespect.
source, right.
You know what I mean? Because you got me out here looking like I'm doing this and that when you out here doing that, and it's not a good cycle.
Right.
And that conversation can humble you. Like, you looking at the person that you want to make proud, or you feel like they told you certain things. Like my grandmom and them told me, you gotta get money, you gotta be a provider, but they wasn't telling me in a way where
Like ways to do it, vehicles
because
to
they
do
not
that.
a man.
Right,
They can't
right.
tell you. They
Right.
only got their women ways.
I know what you mean.
They can't tell you like, oh yeah, to be a man, you should go do this. They couldn't tell me that because
Right.
if they tell me that, I'd be like, what man you know doing that?
Right.
What man you got that's doing that? I don't want to hear that.
I think in general, another characteristic of what it means to be a man, a good human being, period, but just speaking about manhood in our community, is to have emotional intelligence, right?
Right.
In a lot of our
Yeah.
community, we deal with a lot of like acute and sort of like
Yeah.
overt trauma.
And that's something I deal with.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all do. So a lot of times we're just like a bowl of gasoline
yeah.
waiting to be struck by a
switch.
match, and something sets you off. But I say that to say this, because I don't want to say a lack of emotional intelligence, but because that muscle hasn't been built for some people. A lot of times we don't realize that even if you get in trouble, you get a sentence. It's not even just you that's doing your sentence. Your grandmother has to do that with you.
Your folks is dealing with it
Your
worse
children
than
have to
you.
do
You
that.
actually
There you
taking
go.
a break on them, and you look like a fucking. Damn.
No, go.
You look
Yeah,
like a
I've heard
faggot.
that.
You look like
Right.
not a, because it's not like not saying a woman, but you actually take the child route when you gotta be away from your family and you in jail and they still dealing with these fucking issues and they got bills and
Right.
they gotta do this, that, and the third. And what
Y'all
the
all
fuck
doing
you
this
a bill
right.
now? So it's that
Y'all
shit
all
real,
doing
bro.
the
I never
sentence, man.
respected that. I never even that's what I'm saying, bro. Every time when I never got convicted of a crime, but every time when I was in jail, bro, like I never needed my folks never bailed me out of jail
Right.
or no shit like that. Like it was one time when that had to happen for me, and like I said, I learned from it. My grandmom cried about that shit, and it was just on some when they told me the reality of what was happening. It was like, all right, boom, I'm never dealing with that. So the next time I ever got locked up, oh yeah, mom, I got this money,
Right.
and you feel me? And it's like people don't set up themselves for that, and it's sad to say, but you shouldn't be into that type of stuff if you're not thinking about that. If you're not thinking about, oh boy, I'm gonna need a lawyer, I'm gonna need bail money.
It's a whole process,
it's
man.
sad to say, man.
And again, a lot of it just comes down to emotional intelligence, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, a lot of people in our community, not people, but like I'm gonna say young men, young women, may not have had like the mentor to sort of like have those checks and balances to be like, all right, do this,
It's
do
a
that.
standard.
Right.
You only as good as your worst man. Like you not gonna be like whoever you look to, you might look at them as they cool because you're young, you don't have responsibilities, you don't see the realization of it. A cool person to you at 15 is a bum.
Yeah, let me
You
ask you
can
this.
look at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you looking at you growing up, you see the guy on the block, he don't got nowhere to stay, he don't
Right.
got nowhere to be, so he
he
always
got
in
the
your
Kool-Aid
face.
joint?
He
Right,
always
right.
got girls around him,
Right,
so he
right,
look
right.
like he him.
That's somebody
But he
you-
really
right.
going to these girls' houses, staying the night,
You
he
don't have the
gotta
full
pay
context.
them
Right,
and
exactly.
smoke weed with them, whatever, do they choice of drugs. So
Right.
now he doing, like, it's just weird.
Let me ask
So,
you this
yeah.
to close this section out. We'll do some more throughout the day. But So I'm assuming, because you said Earl Nightingale, you know these different names, right? So I know you've heard powerful one-liners from these dudes over like however many years you've been listening to it.
Yeah.
Could you give, because we'll show this to like some of the kids at some point. Can you give some of the kids? You could take your time, think
I got
about
one right now.
Give me the one-liner
So
that they can like build
The first
from.
thing that caught me was the definition of success. The definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
There you go.
And when you move in that aura and you know that you're working towards a worthy ideal, you don't have to think of money of being successful. Money has never been a thing that made you successful. Even, and I'm gonna take it a step further. Young Jeezy said, he said, man make the clothes never made the man. And if somebody told you different, they ain't seen 100 grand. These is facts. You know what I'm saying?
Right, a lot of people that actually have achieved a certain level of like wealth or anything,
It's
will
not
tell
about
you
showing.
that. Right, it's not. It's like once you get
And
there,
money
there's
would
always
never
another-
mean nothing. You
Right.
rich without money first.
So
Before
what-
you ever get money, you successful.
So what would you say? Because I mean, I have like, I'm 42. So after a while, you start to connect the dots and you realize, okay, not what the meaning of life is, but what
Right.
your meaning is, right? So being as though, like, money, regardless how much you have, is not the thing that'll
told
make
you
you
my
have.
meaning of life.
What would you say is like the thing that
Learn it
can
for
help you
everybody.
find? There you go. learn
As
it from
long as you
everybody.
living in purpose, you always going to be learning for the next person. Your purpose is always going to be for somebody else. It's never going to be for you. So as long as you living in learning it for everybody, life, the real life, you always going to be doing it like in God's purpose.
Right.
As long as you're not trying to hurt nobody, harm nobody in this way, you always going to be doing it right. You're never going to be wrong. If you either learning a lesson in this time for yourself, and when you learn it for yourself, as long as you apply it, you're going to have to give it to somebody else.
Right.
So if you could give it, you're going to be in God's light. You're going to be in His honor, bro. You're
Appreciate
gonna be
the good
moving
brother Kev, man. Y'all stay tuned.
Good
for
to,
some more
man, I'm telling you,
jewels
this is the
and
big
like that.
dog right here, man. I'm telling you,
We're gonna
me
have
and
some
him
good
going to be together
combos
a lot
throughout the day.
now.
Yo, I'm